Saturday, a football tripleheader kicks off. Indiana against Western Kentucky, or you can see Northwestern hosting Southern Illinois. Then the Badgers clash with New Mexico State, and Iowa takes on Nevada in prime time. It all starts again with Big Ten Tailgate Saturday morning on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app. So let's stay in that West Division now. We mentioned Minnesota's the only undefeated team in the West. Everybody else has at least one loss. So let's talk about how the storylines for these teams are moving forward. Well, I mentioned we have Iowa. They're taking on Nevada. What's the storyline with them?
I think it's still offensively, when you start to talk about Iowa, what they're doing at the quarterback position, how they're not able to manufacture not just points, but not able to get yardage. They need to start being able to hang their hat in some area, whether it's being able to throw the ball, whether it's being able to run. But right now, nothing's really working. Thought something may change this week. It didn't. They decided to stay with their same starters and try to get things better, the best that they can.
Their offense has scored 10 points total.
It's tough.
Their defense has scored 4.
It's tough.
Should not be that close.
Coach is a good coach, though.
Yeah.
So he knows what he's doing.
Right.
We're just here to talk about it.
But he would say the offense has to get better.
Yeah,
I mean, he's defending them, but he also knows it can't stay at this
better.
level. All right, the Badgers had a disappointing week last week going down to Washington State. They got New Mexico State up next. What's the storyline with them?
I think they still have the issue, as far as quarterbacks are concerned, right? Graham Mertz is an unbelievable talent, I think. There's no question about that. But he's got to be able to put it together. Had a good week 2 weeks ago. Comes back last week, not as consistent as you would like him to be. The ball's turned over at some inopportune times. Now, listen, it's just not all on him. The offensive line really has to be able to make the plays, too. But right now, they're not getting, to me, the consistent play that they need from the quarterback position for them to be the team that they need to be, because it's just not going to be able to run the football all the time. We know that's what they do. They run the ball. They play great defense. Although they gave us some things last week defensively, they've got to get some consistent play at quarterback.
I do agree with that, although I also like your point about the rest of the team. 11 penalties?
Yeah.
2 missed field goals and 3 second-half turnovers. That's extra pressure on that young
The penalties are a major concern that they have to get figured out.
The Northwestern Wildcats got Southern Illinois this week after a week off. What's the storyline with the program?
I think for them, it's not digging themselves a hole. And it's still on the defensive side, but they made the adjustments that they needed to make in the second half. They have to make those adjustments a lot quicker if they find themselves giving up big plays on the defensive side of the football. Make those adjustments and be able to take care of business. This is a tough loss for him because you look at Hull, the way he played offensively, and then the fumble at the end when they had an opportunity to score. But ultimately, to me, this was about Northwestern giving up too many big plays in the first half of this game, which put them in a hole that they had to dig out of. Now, kudos to them for being able to pull themselves out of that. They just weren't able to finish.
You technically need 3 to have a pattern, but we've already seen the pattern. The first game, they're down 14-3. Yep. Second game, they're down 21-0.
Yeah.
Perfectly fair. Hard to dig out of that. Last one of the Boilermakers, they got Syracuse on the road.
Don't worry about it. Just throw the ball around.
Right, that's what they do.
Just throw the ball around. Yeah. I mean, I don't have an issue with them. They're going to figure it out. They're going to throw the ball and really have success doing that. This is a Syracuse team that's not really great, but I think, what they have the ability to do is go vertically down the field, and they're going to continue to do that. They might probably want to work on the run game a little bit to get that going a little bit as well, but this team is all about throwing it and scoring points. And when their quarterback is playing the way he's playing right now, good luck in trying to stop him.
Feels like Charlie Jones made the best transfer choice of anybody in the country.
He's probably had 40 targets. That's more targets than he's probably had in his career at Iowa.
He has 21
including
catches,
practice.
number 1 in the country.
It's crazy.
For receptions.
Congratulations,
he barely
to that
had
young fella.
Any opportunities there at Iowa. They are rolling offensively in West Lafayette. Now, speaking of women's sports, not every day you get to sit next to a Michigan basketball legend, Naz Hillmon. Naz, it is so nice to have you in our studios.
Thank you so much for having me.
First things first, you just wrapped up your first season in the WNBA with Atlanta. What was it like?
It was amazing. It was a great learning experience for me. Definitely different than college in terms of my role. I'm in a different city, a city that I absolutely love. Great food, great people. But like I said, I learned a lot. I had some really great vets, even someone from the Big Ten, Nia Coffey from Northwestern.
Sure.
So it was a great run, a lot of fun, a lot of learning.
That's very cool. And how's the IQ of the players there?
Oh, it's different. There's no more just reading someone's play and knowing their play. You have to know their play as well as this player may break off of it. So it's very different than college in that aspect.
Well, let's talk college for a second, because you were at the, your career just came to a close in college as the Big Ten is on a steep incline. Multiple teams with multiple great players getting further and further in the NCAA tournament. It's great to see. Your team, Michigan, felt like every year you were there started breaking a different record for the Wolverines program. But you were the centerpiece the last few years. You're gone now. What's their team going to look like without you?
Yeah, I actually got a chance to go and watch practice a couple of days ago, and please don't count them out. If you do, you're going to be in for a rude awakening. I think they have some really great pieces. They are just looking better and better. Obviously, like you said, the centerpiece is in a way out, but Coach Rico does a really great job of always finding who's up next and who they're going to build around. I think Leah Brown is ready for those reins, and she's going to be, amazing for them this year. And she's going to have some help. She has some really good shooters on that team. Layla Filia, our freshman from last year,
she had a great year.
Had a great year, and now those freshman bumps are out of there. Also had Emily Kaiser, who came into her own last year, and I think she's definitely going to build off of that. So please don't count Michigan out.
I'm sure Kim Barnes-Rickle will like hearing that. She's a special coach, and if you're talking about Big Ten women's basketball, the special player that first comes to mind is Caitlin Clark. You played against her for a while. I know briefly you got to be with her on a Team USA team, but she's one of those rare players where people who aren't even fans of women's college basketball watch her and go, "Holy cow!" What is it like playing against her?
I mean, it's something that you don't want to have to go against, simply because she can just do a little bit of everything. Her deep range threes, hard to contest because you're not ready for them, even though you know that they're coming when she's pulling up from the logo. How do you prepare for that in practice? But
right.
Like I said, it's not just her scoring; it's her ability to rebound at her position because she's a little bit bigger for a guard, and then the way she assists. She just really gets the ball. She has a high IQ to know where her teammates are at all times on the floor. So, it's really dynamic and something that you have to really scout for, but, not too many practice players are going to be shooting, the way that she does. So it's a lot of film you have to watch when you're getting ready to play her.
Right, you're hard to drop a play. Okay, go 50 feet away from the basket and be ready to guard the person shooting the ball. They've got a lot coming back, not only Caitlin, but Monica Sonano as well, a bunch of role players. Are they the team to beat in the Big Ten this winter, or do you think it's somebody else?
I would like to say it's someone else, but I really do think it's Iowa. I think just because they have so much returning, and it's just a difference between that chemistry. You can already see it between Cesano and Clark, and it's going to continue to build. They've always been a team that's really prided themselves on their chemistry and the way that they have their pass and cut mentality. So I think that they're definitely going to be a team to beat.
It's going to be another exciting year in the conference for sure. Yes. Naz Hillmon, always great to see you. Thanks for stopping by.
Thanks for having me.